Welcome back, everybody. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do a little bit of math here, okay? So we can see that we changed the text to 2, but guess what we can do with this number here, okay? We can add in +1, okay? And so what this will do is this will make it equal to 3. Now, let's just do a little bit of math. Let's say 2, and then it'll equal to 4. So you can do a little bit of math here, and I'm just going to squeeze this in here. And well, don't worry about this because remember, it doesn't change here. I just want to focus in on the JavaScript for a moment here. Okay, let's add in another variable here. And we can, again, remember, we can add in as many variables as we want. We're going to call this number, or we'll call it second number. Okay, we're going to make it equal to 2. So they're both equal to 2. And we can do variable number plus second number. Okay. Now you'll also notice, and I'll just move this out even a little bit more. If I double click on this, you can see that it highlights it and everything works out like that. All right. So if we change the text, it equals to 4. Pretty simple, right? Now watch what happens if we type in variable name plus second number. Now in pretty much every other programming language, this is going to cause some kind of error. And the reason why it causes an error is that in other programming languages, what ends up happening is that you can't add a number to a letter. It doesn't make sense. It's like, you know, if you ask yourself how many apples do we have, and you have, you know, 1 apple plus an orange, it's like 1, but it doesn't really make any sense to the computer. But watch what happens when you do this, okay? It says John plus 2. It just basically mashes everything together. And there's not really a better term for that. It just puts them together, really. That's all it does, okay? Now, you'll also notice that there is no space after John. And the reason is that there is no space here. Now, remember in a couple tutorials ago, I said that spaces is like adding another object, and that's partly true, except for when you have the quotes here. If you have the quotes here, you can put in, you know, 10 of these if you want. Doesn't matter. So we're just going to go ahead and push space, and you can see that it says John 2. Okay, and of course, let's just go ahead and let's just add another variable, and we're going to call this second string. Okay, it's going to be equal to 2 quotes. And we're going to call this, we'll just say John plus awesome, okay? Put another space in there. And of course, there's one thing that's missing, and that is a semicolon, okay? And of course, we need to change second number to second string, okay? And if we double click on that, it does work. And there we go. That's all it is. Now, you can do this infinitely if you really want to, right? You can go ahead and push plus variable number, etc. You can do this as much as you want. Programming languages are meant to be like this. They're meant to be anything. Now, of course, if you go ahead and if we were to just do one more bit of math here, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this here. You can do any kind of math you want to. So we have variable number minus 3. And then we can go ahead, it equals to -1. Okay, that makes perfect sense. You can do whatever you want. You can go times, and there we go. Okay, so that's essentially how you use variables, and that's one thing that's really good about JavaScript is that's not going to throw you an error. It's going to work out in some way. However, I highly recommend that you separate your numbers and your strings into different categories, and that for the most part you don't really add them together like I did, unless you're going ahead and doing that for display purposes. All right, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.